My name is Maya Rivera, but around here, they call me Torch. I've spent the last 10 years in Detroit, working the graveyard shift at Gantry Automotive, welding frames for cars I'll never afford. The factory smells like burnt metal and sweat, and the machines never stop humming. But I don't mind the noise. It drowns out the thoughts. Tonight, the air is thick with the stink of oil and ozone. My gloves are sticky with sweat, and the robotic arm beside me whirs like it's whispering secrets. I ignore it. I've got a job to do. Weld the seams, check the alignment, move to the next one, repeat until sunrise. But then my phone buzzes. A message from my cousin, Rico. 2 words. They found him. My stomach drops. I don't need to ask who. My father, Hector Rivera, disappeared 6 months ago. Union man, loud mouth. The kind of guy who wouldn't let management cut corners, even if it cost him. And it did. I clock out early, my boots echoing in the empty parking lot. The city feels different tonight, darker, like the streetlights are holding their breath. Rico's waiting for me at Benny's, a dive bar where the union guys used to drink. He slides a folder across the table. Inside, photos. My father's body half buried in a construction site near the old factory. The report says accident, but I know better. The last photo makes my hands shake. A close-up of his left arm. The skin is burned, but not from fire, from a weld, the kind only a factory machine could make. I look up at Rico. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't have to. I finish my drink and stand. The rage is a live wire in my chest, sparking, searching for something to burn. I know exactly where to start. The factory owner's name is Carl Gantry, and tomorrow, he's giving a tour of the new assembly line. I'll be there, and so will my welder. The sun hasn't risen yet when I step into my apartment. The place is small, just a kitchenette and a mattress on the floor, but it's mine. I don't bother turning on the lights. I know where everything is. The toolbox under the sink, the blueprints rolled up behind the fridge, the photo of my dad taped to the wall, his arm around my shoulders at my first union rally. I pull out the toolbox and dump it on the table. Wrenches, screwdrivers, a handheld plasma cutter, and my personal favorite, a reprogramming module I built from scavenged parts. The guys at the shop think I'm just good with machines. They don't know I speak their language better than they do. I grab the blueprints next. The new assembly line Gantry's so proud of. State of the art. He calls it fully automated. No pesky humans slowing things down. I trace the schematics with my finger, stopping at the robotic welders. Perfect. My phone buzzes again. Rico, Gantry's tour starts at 10. Press will be there. You sure about this? I don't answer. I don't need to .by the time the sky turns gray. I've got a plan. The factory's security is tight, but not for me. I've spent years inside those walls. I know every blind spot, every shift change. And most importantly, I know how to make the machines listen. I dress in my work coveralls, the ones with Gantry's logo stitched on the chest. My hair goes under a cap, my face behind safety goggles. Just another faceless worker. The factory hums with activity when I arrive. Reporters mill around the lobby, cameras flashing. Gantry stands at the center, smiling like a man who's never buried a body. His suit costs more than my yearly rent. I slip past the crowd, heading straight for the control room. The tech on duty, Dave, barely glances up from his coffee. Forgot my badge, I say, holding up a clipboard. He waves me in without a word. The control panel glows under my fingers. Lines of code scroll across the screen. It's easy work, slipping my own commands into the system. The robotic arms won't know the difference. Back on the floor, the tour is starting. Gantry leads the group toward the new line, bragging about efficiency, innovation, the future. I watch from the shadows as he stops in front of the welders. Right on schedule. The first spark FLIs, then the second. Gantry doesn't notice the arms shifting, adjusting their trajectory. Not until it's too late. The last thing I see before I turn away is his face, pressed against the window of his precious luxury car. As the steel seals shut around him, the screams are muffled, just like my father's were. The sound of grinding metal follows me out of the factory. It lingers in my ears like a ghost, mixing with the distant wail of sirens. I don't run. Running draws attention. Instead, I walk slow, steady, just another worker heading home after a long shift. My hands don't shake. My breath stays even. But beneath my ribs, Something wild and hot thrums, a second heartbeat made of sparks and vengeance. Benny's is closed when I get there, but Rico's waiting by the back door. He doesn't say anything when he sees me, just pulls me inside and locks the door behind us. The bar smells like stale beer and bleach. The TV above the counter plays the news on mute. Gantry's face fills the screen, then cuts to footage of the factory, flashing lights, chaos. Rico grabs my arm. His fingers are tight. You did it. I don't nod. Don't deny it. Just pull away and head for the sink. The water runs cold over my hands, washing away phantom grease, invisible blood. They'll look at you, he says. You know that, right? You worked there. You had reason. I turn off the tap. They won't find anything. You sure? The blueprints are ash. The tools, scattered in different dumpsters across the city. The code I wrote, gone, overridden by the system's own fail-safes. All that's left is the story playing out on the news, a tragic accident, a malfunction in the new automated line, a rich man's carelessness around heavy machinery. I meet Rico's eyes. I'm sure. He exhales, long and slow, then reaches under the counter and slides a bottle toward me. We drink in silence. The whiskey burns, but not enough to drown the fire inside me. It's not over. Gantry was just the first. The door rattles. A fist pounding against wood. Rico stiffens. I don't. Open up. Police. Rico swears under his breath. I stay still, listening. One set of footsteps. Heavy, impatient. Not here for me then. Rico cracks the door. A cop shoves past him, flashing a badge. You know Maya Rivera? My pulse kicks, but my face stays blank. Rico folds his arms. What's this about? The cop ignores him, eyes scanning the room. They slide right over me. Just another woman in a work shirt. Nothing special. Her father's case, the cop says. New evidence. Need to ask her some questions. Rico frowns. What kind of evidence? The cop hesitates. Then low. Witness came forward. Says it wasn't an accident. The bottle slips in Rico's grip. I catch it before it hits the floor. The cop turns to leave. You see her, you call us. Got it? The door slams shut behind him. Rico whirls on me. What the hell does that mean? Who'd talk now? I don't answer. Because suddenly, I'm back in the factory. The night my dad disappeared. The way the foreman, Driscoll, watched him. The way he smiled when my dad argued about the faulty safety protocols. Driscoll. The name sticks in my teeth like a piece of bad meat. I stand. Rico grabs my wrist. Where are you going? I pull free. To finish this. Outside. The city breathes around me, loud and alive. Somewhere out there, Driscoll's waiting, and this time, I won't need machines to make him scream. The rain starts just as I reach Driscoll's neighborhood. It slicks the pavement black under the streetlights, turns the air sharp with the smell of wet concrete. His house sits at the end of a quiet block, bigger than it deserves to be. 2 cars in the driveway, lights on in the upstairs window. I circle the block first, checking for cops, for cameras, for anything that might see me. But this isn't the kind of street that expects trouble. Just another row of middle-class homes where people pretend they don't hear the factories grinding in the distance. The back door's lock takes me 10 seconds to pick. The kitchen smells like coffee and burnt toast. A half-empty bottle of bourbon sits on the counter next to a pile of unopened mail. I flip through it. Bills, coupons, a letter from Gantry Automotives. Legal department, upstairs, a TV mumbles. I follow the sound, my boots silent on the carpet. The bedroom doors slightly open. Driscoll's sprawled on the bed in a stained undershirt, eyes glued to the news. The factory footage plays again. Gantry's face, the flashing lights. I step inside. He doesn't notice me until I'm at the foot of the bed. Then his head jerks up, his face going slack. Jesus Christ. I hold up the letter. You rat me out. His throat bobs. I don't know what you're talking about. I toss the letter onto his chest. Legal wanted your statement. About my dad. About what really happened that night. Driscoll sits up slowly, hands raised like I'm holding a gun. I'm not. I don't need one. Look, Maya. Torch, I correct. He swallows. Torch. It wasn't like that. They pressured me. After Gantry died, they started looking hard at everything. I step closer. So you told them my dad was murdered. I told them the truth. His voice cracks. He was going to shut down the line, expose the safety violations. Gantry couldn't have that. He gave the order. I just walked away. The admission hangs between us, ugly and raw. I think of my dad's burned arm. The way the weld bit into his skin. Not an accident. A message. Driscoll must see something in my face because he scrambles back. I didn't touch him. I swear. It was the machines. Gantry had me reprogram them too. To what? My voice is dangerously quiet. To eliminate the problem. His eyes dart to the nightstand. To the gun peeking out from under a magazine. I get there. First, the weight of it is familiar in my hand. My dad taught me to shoot when I was 12. Said every union kid should know how to protect themselves. Driscoll's breathing fast now. You don't want to do this. I tilt my head. Why not? Because I can help you. He licks his lips. The cops don't have enough to charge you for Gantry yet, but they will, unless someone points them elsewhere. I laugh. It's a cold sound. You'd frame someone else? I'd survive. His eyes lock onto mine, just like you're trying to do. For a long moment, the only sound is the rain against the window. Then I lower the gun. Driscoll sags in relief. Smart girl. I smile. Then I yank the cord from the lamp and lunge. He's stronger than he looks. Fights dirty. Nails and teeth. But I've been wrestling metal twice my size for years. When it's over, I drag him to the basement. The furnace is old, industrial, big enough. As the fire roars to life, I pull out my phone. Dial a number I know by heart. Rico answers on the first ring. Torch? I watch the flames dance. Tell the cops their witness is ready to talk. Then I toss the phone into the furnace. The truth dies screaming, just like it always does in the city. 3 days pass before they find what's left of Driscoll. The news calls it a gas leak, a tragic accident, another body added to Detroit's long list of missing pieces. I watch the report from a motel room on the edge of the city. The sound turned low. The sheets smell like bleach and cigarettes. The walls are thin enough to hear the couple next door fighting. I should feel something. Guilt, relief, something. But all I feel is tired. My phone buzzes. Rico again. He's called 6 times since that night. I let it go to voicemail. Whatever he has to say, I already know. The cops are circling. The union's nervous. The whole damn city feels like a coiled spring waiting to snap. I shove the phone under the pillow and stare at the ceiling. The cracks in the plaster look like veins, like the ones in my father's hands when he'd come home from the factory, grease buried so deep in his skin no amount of scrubbing could get it out. A knock at the door. I'm on my feet before the second. Rap. The gun from Driscoll's nightstand cold in my grip. Torch? It's me. Rico's voice. I don't lower the gun. I crack the door just enough to see his face. He looks like hell. Dark circles under his eyes. A fresh cut on his cheek. They're tearing the shop apart, he says, questioning everyone, pulling time cards. They know it was you. I let him in. Lock the door behind him. He paces the length of the room, running a hand through his hair. You should have told me what you were planning with Driscoll. I could have. Could have what? I sit on the edge of the bed. Talked me out of it? He stops, pacing, looks at me like he's seeing me for the first time. Is that what you want? To be talked out of it? The question hangs between us. I don't answer. Rico sighs and pulls a folder from his jacket. Then you need to see this. Inside are photos, surveillance shots, me entering Driscoll's house, me leaving, grainy but clear enough. My stomach drops. Where do you get these? Cops have them too. He sits beside me. But that's not the worst part. He flips to the last photo. A man in a suit standing outside the precinct. Sharp jaw, cold eyes. Who's that? Lucas Gantry. Rico's voice is tight. Carl's son. Just flew in from Zurich, and he's not here to mourn daddy. I study the photo. The resemblance is there in the set of the jaw, the way he stands like he owns the ground beneath him. But where Carl was all bluster and greed, this man looks calculated, dangerous. Rico taps the photo. He's offering a reward for information, leading to your arrest. I laugh. It's a hollow sound. So what? Half the shop would have done it for free. Not about money. Rico's eyes meet mine. He's got his own security team, ex-military, the kind of guys who make problems disappear. The motel room feels smaller suddenly, the walls closing in. I stand, then I disappear first. Rico grabs my arm. Where? I shake him off. Somewhere they won't think to look. I pack fast. The gun, some cash, the last photo I have of my dad. Rico watches me, his jaw clenched. You can't run forever, he says. I sling the bag over my shoulder. Don't plan to. The door clicks shut behind me. Outside, the city stretches endless and dark. Somewhere out there, Lucas Gantry is hunting. Good. Let him come. I know these streets better than he ever will. And this time, I won't need fire to burn him, just time. The abandoned train yard on the east side smells like rust and rotting wood. I used to come here as a kid when I needed to think. The old boxcars sit silent on their tracks, their graffiti-covered sides peeling under the moonlight. No one ever comes here anymore. No one but ghosts and people who want to disappear. I pick the lock on a rusted-out freight car and step inside. The air is thick with dust. A rat scurries into the shadows. This'll do for now. I drop my bag in the corner and sit with my back against the cold metal wall. The gun rests heavy in my lap. Outside, the wind whistles through broken windows, carrying the distant hum of the city. My phone vibrates. A text from an unknown number. They know about Benny's. I delete it. Change the SIM card. Toss the old one out the door. Rico was right. They're closing in. I pull out the photo of Lucas Gantry and study it under the dim glow of my flashlight. His eyes are the same steel gray as his father's, the same cold calculation, but there's something else there too, something sharper. I flip the photo over. Rico had scribbled an address on the back. Gantry's temporary office downtown. A place to start. Sleep doesn't come easy. Every creak of the train car, every scuttle of rats' feet sends my hand to the gun. When dawn finally leaks through the cracks in the walls, my eyes are gritty, but my mind is clear. Time to move. Downtown is busy this early. Workers rushing to their shifts. Coffee carts steaming in the crisp morning air. I keep my head down, my cap pulled low. The building is a sleek glass tower, all sharp edges and reflective surfaces. Gantry's office is on the 15th floor. I don't go in the front. The service entrance is guarded by a single bored-looking security guy scrolling through his phone. I wait until he steps out for a smoke, then slip inside. The stairwell is empty. My footsteps echo as I climb. Floor 15 is quiet, plush carpet, the smell of expensive cleaner. Gantry's name is etched on a door at the end of the hall. I press my ear to the wood. Voices inside, not just about the money. Gantry's voice is smooth, controlled. It's about sending a message. Another voice, deeper. We'll find her. But the police. Fuck the police. A fist hits a desk. I want her to know it's me. I want her to see it coming. I step back. My pulse is loud in my ears. The door opens. A man steps out, tall, broad-shouldered. Not Gantry. His eyes lock onto mine. For a second, neither of us moves. Then his hand goes to his waist. I run. The stairwell door crashes open behind me. Heavy footsteps follow. I take the steps two at a time, my breath coming sharp. At the 10th floor, I burst through another door, into an office of startled faces. Hey, you can't. I'm already past them, shoving through a fire exit. The alarm blares. Out on the street, people turn to look. I melt into the crowd, my heart hammering. They know my face now. This changes things. I duck into an alley, press my back against the brick. The gun is cold in my hands. Lucas Gantry isn't just hunting me. He wants a show. Fine. I'll give him one he won't forget. The safe house is an old auto shop Rico's cousin owns, boarded up after the owner got pinched for running stolen parts. The air smells like motor oil and mildew. Faded posters of classic cars peel from the walls. I barricade the back door with a rusted transmission, then sweep the space for anything useful. Under a tarp in the corner, I find exactly what I need. Oxyacetylene tanks, half full. The torch kit is missing its igniter, but I've sparked welds with less. The workbench yields other treasures, a hacksaw, vice grips, lengths of steel cable, tools that could be weapons in the right hands. My hands, I'm elbow deep in the guts of. An old electrical panel when the phone buzzes. This time I answer. Where are you? Rico's voice is strained, somewhere dry. I strip a length of copper wire with my teeth. They put my face out yet? Not yet. But Gantry's got guys shaking down every union hangout from here to Dearborn. A pause. He's offering 10 grand for anyone who brings you in alive. I nearly laugh. Alive means he wants to do the killing himself. Tell me something useful. Got a name. Victor Malek, head of Gantry's security. Ex-Spetsnaz. The kind of guy who makes problems vanish. A lighter flicks. Rico exhales sharply. He's the one who answered the door when you went sniffing around. Gantry's office. The man with the hand on his waist. I remember the way he moved, like a predator sizing up prey. Rico continues. Word is he's running the hunt personally now. You made it interesting when you bolted. I test the sharpened end of the copper wire against my thumb. A bead of blood wells up. Good. You're not hearing me, Torch. This isn't some factory rent-a-cop. This guy, I know what he is. The blood smears as I wipe my thumb on my jeans. You got an address or not? Silence. Then Rico sighs. Warehouse off Michigan Avenue. But you walk in there. You're not walking out. I pocket the wire. Who said anything about walking in? The line goes dead before he can reply. Night falls like a curtain. The warehouse district is quiet this late. Just the occasional semi-rumbling past. The target building is a hulking shadow behind a chain-link fence. No lights. No visible guards. Too easy. I circle the perimeter, noting the cameras. Their red eyes stare blankly at predetermined angles. Blind spots exist between their ranges, narrow gaps a person could slip through if they moved just right. The fence rattles as I scale it. My boots hit dirt on the other side. 20 yards to the side door. I count the seconds between camera sweeps. 3, 2, 1, go. The door's lock is new, but the frame is rusted. A quick jimmy with the pry bar and it groans open. Inside smells like concrete dust and stale cigarettes. Voices echo from deeper in the building. I follow them. The main warehouse space is cavernous, lit by a single hanging bulb. Crates and machinery form jagged silhouettes. 2 men stand near a folding table littered with blueprints. One I recognize instantly, Victor Malek. Even in the dim light, his posture screams military. The other man turns, and my breath catches. Lucas Gantry. Up close, he's younger than I expected. Mid-30s, with the kind of tailored suit that costs more than my yearly rent. But it's his eyes that hold me, cold and calculating, just like his father's. You're sure she'll come? Gantry taps a finger against the table. Malek doesn't smile. She's already here. The words barely register before the first shot rings out. Concrete explodes by my head. I dive behind a pallet of crates as another bullet splinters the wood. Miss Rivera. Gantry's voice carries across the space. We have so much to discuss. I check the gun. 3 rounds left. Not enough. Time to improvise. The oxyacetylene mix in my bag slashes as I rip it open. I soak a rag. Wrap it around an empty bottle. The torch sparks to life in my hand. When the next lull in gunfire comes, I light the rag and hurl the bottle into the darkness. The explosion paints the warehouse in hellish orange. Shadows leap like dancing demons. Someone shouts in Russian. I'm already moving. Gantry stumbles back from the flames, his perfect hair mussed. He doesn't see me coming until I'm on him. The copper wire finds his throat. Tell me. I hiss in his ear, as Malek shouts somewhere in the smoke. Was it worth it? His answer is lost in the scream of bending metal as part of the ceiling collapses. The fire spreads hungrily. Malek appears like a ghost from the smoke. Blood trickles from his temple. His gun is steady. I tighten the wire. Gantry gurgles. Let him go, Malek says, and I'll make it quick. The flames reflect in his eyes. I smile. Then I shove Gantry forward, straight into Malek's firing line. The gun barks twice. Gantry drops dot in the heartbeat of shock that follows. I'm already sprinting for the shadows. The fire roars behind me, consuming blueprints, blood, and bodies alike. By the time the sirens wail in the distance, I'm 3 blocks away, breathing hard in an alley. 1 down. But the game's not over yet. The fire glows against the night sky like a second sunrise. From my rooftop perch 3 blocks away, I watch the warehouse burn. Flames lick through shattered windows, sending plumes of smoke coiling into the air. Sirens scream in the distance, but I know they're too late. By the time the trucks arrive, there won't be much left but ash and twisted metal, just the way I planned. My hands are steady as I pack the remaining tools into my bag. The wire, the empty oxy tank, the gun with its 1 remaining bullet. I don't need to check the news to know what they'll say. Another tragic accident. Another Gantry dying in flames. Poetic, really. The roof access door creaks open behind me. I don't turn. Only one person knows where to find me. Rico steps into the dim light, his face drawn. He smells like smoke and sweat. You're insane. I zip the bag shut. You knew that already. He drags a hand over his face. Malek, dead. The word tastes like victory. Or will be, when the ceiling finishes collapsing on him. Rico exhales, sharply. And Gantry. I finally turn to look at him. The answer must be written in my eyes, because he swears under his breath. They'll come harder now, he says. No more games. They'll send everyone. I shrug. Let them. The wind shifts. carrying the scent of burning plastic and something darker. Flesh. I wonder if Gantry screamed. If he thought about my father in those final moments. Rico pulls a flask from his jacket and takes a long swallow before offering it to me. The whiskey burns all the way down. We need to get you out of the city, he says. I shake my head. Not yet. Torch. There's one more. He stills. Who? I reach into my pocket and pull out the folded blueprint I took from Gantry's warehouse. It's singed at the edges, but the important part is clear, a schematic of the original factory where my father died. And in the corner, a name scribbled in familiar handwriting. Foreman Driscoll wasn't the only one who walked away that night. Rico's breath catches when he sees the name. Shit. I take the flask back and drain it. The alcohol doesn't dull the fire in my chest. Nothing ever will. Where is he now? Rico asks quietly. I stare out at the burning warehouse. Where they all go when they want to disappear. The answer hangs between us. The same place this started. Gantry Automotive. The first shift starts at dawn, and I'll be clocking in.